This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Last time on the Damage Guild podcast.
You think these were acroflies?
Basil, did we manage to save your plants?
Some of those look like they're in usable condition. Truly, I do appreciate your efforts. My workers and I can handle the remaining beetles. I do wonder where they keep coming from.
Let's assume this is happening multiple times because it's intentional.
Why would someone sabotage something so important and specific?
Let's find the employees and conduct some light interrogation.
I think my other question is, how long has this been going on for Basil?
I believe he said earlier that it started a few months ago.
A few months ago, okay.
Months, okay.
Okay, because my thought was, if I'm now part of the rebellion in Moss's eyes, why would he sabotage this business that helps my family? But if this started months ago, then that was long before I joined the rebellion, quote unquote.
Right. What started months ago? The corruption, theoretically.
Yes.
Let's do super conspiracy theory. Maybe Moss went across to the other side of the mountain, hired those people to come over and sabotage the ley line so that it started dumping things into our valley.
Oh. Wait. He wants to take over the kingdom. What better way to take over the kingdom than to start something horrible like this that your lord grandfather couldn't possibly control? We controlled it. Nobody been over the mountain before. Zara, you got to figure out if Moss has been over the mountain or sent people over the mountain. Are they going extra national?
Extra national.
Are they like going
International.
Are they going out there?
We did find the body with the clothes that we determined were from the other side of the mountain. So we know that some people from over there came here, but we don't know. I mean, we can assume that it was because of their blight, but...
Yeah, I mean, no offense. Zara, you should totally coach this guy into how to take over a nation, because here's the thing. All he's done so far is just, like, get people that he hopes are dissatisfied, but, like, what if he caused the dissatisfaction and, like, recruited a lot more people?
Could be.
Maybe that's not his style. Anyway.
Well, so what's our next step here?
I mean, you are like helping him with this rebellion, aren't you?
I'm a double... yeah, totally. I'm helping him out.
As you're still discussing this to the side, the voices from the other couple get a little bit louder and interrupt you for a moment. It sounds like they're talking about finances. Audra is saying, we really need this to be working again. Our money isn't enough to support us for much longer. If those bugs don't stay away forever, then we're not going to make this work. Basil's just trying to comfort her and quiet her a little bit because he notices that it's drawing your attention. But basically, it just sounds like there's some sort of financial discord between the two of them.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, something's rotten here. We need to talk to the employees first and find out if we get any leads that way. That's the first source.
Yeah, I mean, that's one potential. We could go detective on this. I'm realizing that this could be possibly something that the Grove Tenders could help us to solve.
True. They are plant adjacent.
Well, then call in the cavalry.
And instead of them falling in love with us random three, what if we endeared them to the Grove Tenders?
True, but how much time would that take?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking if they just got a whiff of this soil, if they just took a glance at one of the bugs, they'd probably know exactly what to do.
Do you have a Grove Tender signal of sorts that you can send out?
Yeah, I've got the right. I like pull out like a lantern that has like the Grove Tender insignia
Yeah,
on
like the
lantern,
signal.
and I start signaling like into the sky.
Or you take out your insignia, your sigil, and you like turn it, and it's got this mechanical device inside, and you start pressing all these buttons, and it whirs and clicks. And
yeah. Or no, I build a fire and I smoke signals. I start releasing. Yeah.
How long would it take, as Lady Zara asked, how long would it take to summon Grove Tenders here?
To build a fire big enough to make smoke signals visible to the other Grove Tenders? I mean, that's a big fire. We'd probably have to build that outside the city. I don't think they'd let us build such a big pyre here.
Would it be possible to hire a messenger to see Dervin?
No, I'd have to go myself.
The Grove Tenders don't tend to move and respond very quickly to anything. There aren't enough of them to be everywhere and act all there. And right now they're all kind of busy working on the pollution, trying to clean up that area as much as they can.
I just wanted to note that you started that sentence with the Grove Tenders don't tend. So, just pointing that out.
A walking contradiction, to be sure.
They don't actually do anything. Yeah, we could go detective on this. I think that's fine. Are there any other pressing matters for us?
Getting home.
Well, yeah, you want to get home because you escaped. So I don't know how long we can really play detective with Verrol. Also, who's good? Zara's really good at playing detective. You should play detective.
Am I?
You have a high int, which is good at detective stuff.
That's true. That's true.
As the night is young, I might stay with you for an hour or two if we decide that we wish to make the rounds this evening and can get a list of employees from Basil.
Yeah, Basil, we really do want to help you, and we want to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen. We want to get to the bottom of it.
I don't think there's a problem with any of you coming in to talk to the employees tomorrow.
Oh, you can't give us a list?
Well, they'll all be here in the morning doing their work.
We'd much prefer to harass them at home, if you don't mind. There's an old warehouse on the outskirts of town that my grandfather owns, and I have the keys.
I rather fancy for these kinds of things.
I rather fancy, yes.
I don't know that I trust you that much. It's not something that I should do as their employer, just giving away their addresses.
Has a rather nice steel chair that's bolted to the floor. A few sets of manacles and Iron Maidens about.
And some spotlights.
Basil, I just realized, we do need a list from you, but it's a different list. Could we get a list of your suppliers?
Yes, that should be a relatively small list.
Good.
Okay, great.
So he fetches some parchment and writes out where he gets his fertilizer, where he gets his seed shipments from. There's really only one place for the fertilizer. There's 4 or 5 different merchants that he buys seeds from, importing it from elsewhere.
Okay, now we take that with the information we got from the DEES. I'm assuming it was a DEES Plus recall knowledge check earlier because you told us those bugs are from a particular part of the valley.
I said that they're not from around here.
Ah, okay. Well, then that's the deeper research that we need a mind like yours, Zara, to do. We need you to connect these suppliers to where the bugs could have come from and see if there's a correlation.
Yes, indeed. I say we investigate both avenues. I say we interrogate the employees and check the supply as well. I do get the sneaking suspicion that some sort of foul play is involved, but perhaps we shall see.
Well, they could be intertwined. Like, the employees might not fess up, but maybe if we meet, for example, the employee that is in charge of stocking, that might be our person.
Indeed.
And we want to press them on, hey, you got that one shipment from down on the west? Know anything about it? Because they got bugs down there in the west, too.
I must say, Kardain, as far as any of us goes, you have the best voice for this kind of thing. I say you do the interrogating. You're the most intimidating amongst us.
Oh, no, Zara, you're just saying that. I couldn't possibly.
Perhaps whilst they're blindfolded and tied to the chair, you could use a megaphone from the other room to strike fear into their hearts.
Or I'll start using tremor sense and just sending tremors into their body that they don't know why it's happening.
Right.
Just torture them one tremor, one tremor, one tremor.
Well, I think it's a great idea to pursue both the employees and the suppliers. Surely our answer lies somewhere betwixt them.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying, Verrol, they might be correlated.
Indeed. Could be a coordinated effort. One never knows.
Well, nevertheless, I say it's best we get a good night's rest, perhaps change up our prepared spells, and come back at this in the morning, when we can speak to the employees as well.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I shall need to have an excuse to get out into the town tomorrow, so I'll see if I can't rustle one up. Good night, then.
With that, we split up for the night.
And Verrol raises his hood and dashes off into the night.
So you rush back home, hoping to make it back in before anyone even realizes you were gone.
Yeah, let's include a couple of try-fail cycles in there. I try to vault over the wall the first time and fall. And then when I finally make it over the wall, I try to climb up the little makeshift bedsheet rope, and I fall down into the bushes a couple of times. Ah! Wilhelm scream, and then I finally make it back into my bed. But I'm glad that I haven't been bug-bitten, at least. so there's no evidence of my excursion.
Fortunately, you have a pretty good idea of the movement of the guards around the perimeter at night, so you're able to avoid them.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
And the other two of you head back to the Gilded Lantern.
Yes, let's rest for the night.
And you're going to need to spend your money again for another night at the inn.
Yes, what was it again?
Before you spend your money, you receive a reward for services rendered.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yes, Basil is going to give you 5 gold pieces.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
5 total?
Yes.
All right. Splits perfectly 3 ways.
No, I don't. If I'm there when he gives us that, I don't take any. Oh, I've no need of that.
All right, so Kardain and I also splits evenly 2 ways, so that's good.
As it happens.
You got enough silver, you can break it.
Yeah, we do. We have plenty of silver. All right, so 2.5 gold each.
Nice.
2 gold, 5 silver. Getting richer by the week.
So you wake up in the morning, all well rested, still covered with red welts that are even more obvious now than they were last night. At least 2 of you.
Lovely.
Are they itchy? I feel like I have to itch all of these.
Yeah, they're rather uncomfortable, but you'll be able to manage, especially with the ointment. It should help. So your plan for today?
Plan is to return to the apothecary and interrogate the suspects, the employees.
Zara, shouldn't we go see if Verrol can sneak out again?
I think that was already the plan, wasn't? I think that's up to him. He knew that we would be interrogating the employees today, so he said he would find a way, an excuse to come out and play.
Scene switches over to breakfast in the dining hall, and I'm like, Grandpapa, I meant to ask you, could I take a trip out to town this morning? The newest episode of Chepforth Weekly is coming out, and they're doing a story on us, I'm told. Might I just pop out and be back for lunch?
I suppose I don't have need of you at the moment. Make sure you do a good job of presenting us.
Always. Very good. See you later. And I hurriedly get up and try not to run out of the room.
He goes back to his meal, frustrated looking.
Muttering to himself, why did I put my trust in that insolent grandson?
That oaf of a grandson.
All right, so I get my horse saddled, and I put on some clothes for in town. Some clothes for a man about town, let's say that. Just the sort of frilly get-up that you would expect from one of my station. And I shall leave Harrogate Hall at a canter.
All right, so you are clopping down the road.
Ooh, I'm sorry. If you had left at a gallop, you would have made it on time, but nope, you're late.
But a gallop would have been far too conspicuous.
Or a trot.
Trot is simply too slow for the excitement I'm feeling.
You all show up at Basil's apothecary. Basil himself is at the counter, managing the shop, and he's got some employees back in the greenhouse working.
I get off my horse and hand the reins to a random townsperson. Be so kind as to stable this animal for me.
Park this, would you?
Is there a concierge available?
He looks at the reins, confused, and then just tosses them onto a nearby fence post.
Thank you, kind sir. And I flip him a silver piece.
A whole silver.
Silver piece, I'm rich. I'm going to go
I
retire.
can quit my job and go abroad.
Typically, that's all you really need to do is throw the reins on top of something, and the horse won't leave.
Yeah, you just, let
Really?
him, like...
You don't even need to wrap it around.
Huh, that's cool.
Well, if I was a horse thane, I wouldn't let that stop me.
Now, as long as nothing spooks, that should probably be fine. Or if anyone wants to steal it.
Yeah.
All right. I enter the shop with a flourish. Now tell me, good sir, is it Basil or Basil? What shall I call you?
I introduced him as Basil originally, but you've been calling him Basil ever since, so...
So either or then, is it?
Yes, whichever you prefer.
I quite prefer Basil, I dare say. So, where are these employees, and have my companions arrived yet?
We walk through the door. Yes, we have.
There you are. Good timing.
Thank you.
Punctual as always.
Yes.
Verrol, I knew you'd sneak out to hang with us.
Well, as it happens, I didn't even have to sneak out. I simply asked for permission. I only have a few hours, though.
All right. We immediately start slapping employees. Tell us the truth.
Right, they're all working back either in the garden or in the greenhouse right now.
Where were you on the night of last night?
And every night prior to that for the last 3 months. All right, so we corner one of them. No, we pick one of them and start there.
Heading out into the back, there's Audra, his wife, who's also currently working in the garden. And then there are 3 employees. There's another woman and 2 men. At the moment, it's Audra and one of the men outside, and the other 2 are in the greenhouse.
We pick one of the men at random, and all 3 of us just converge on him and just kind of like, we don't really
beat him up.
We don't really say or do anything except just like get really close to him, all of us like crowding around him and just kind of nudge him with our chests until he acknowledges us.
This doesn't sound like something you actually do. So,
It's an intimidation tactic.
what do you really do?
Tap him on the shoulder.
Okay, so let's just say this is the guy outside.
Yeah, the first one.
He looks up and brushes some dirt off of his gloves. Can I help you, sirs?
Excuse me, might we have a word?
Go right ahead.
In private, please.
It's just me and the missus here. Do you need to be more private?
Who is me? Who is you, I mean?
I'm Carwin.
I see. And I introduce myself and my 2 friends.
Hearing your last name, he stands up a little bit straighter and tries to brush himself off more.
Yes, Verrol of House Vanject. Perhaps you've heard of me.
I have, and to what do I owe the pleasure of meeting you, sir?
To what do I owe the displeasure of your company? We simply mean to get to the bottom of this infestation, this recurring infestation, and we want to know how good you are at gardening.
Well, I consider myself somewhat of an expert. I've been working here for the last 9, almost 10 years.
Impressive. And you've seen no evidence of the greenhouse or its equipment being tampered with in any way?
Not that I'm aware of.
So then if you are as skilled as you say, then how is it that this infestation continues to happen time after time, even after being completely removed?
Honestly, sir, I've been wondering the same thing. We go in there, we clean out all of the bugs, we search around for any eggs, we take out any that we find, burn the plants that have them, that are usually too far beyond saving anyway.
You know what their eggs look like? Could you show me?
Well, I don't think we have any at the moment. We do burn them all.
If you describe them, it might be helpful with us looking into it to know what the eggs look like.
He tries to give you an indication with his fingers. Very small, bright green in color.
Oh, that is small. I see how small you're holding your fingers.
Has each subsequent infestation become worse than the one before it?
I wouldn't say they're all necessarily worse than each other, but it's been a bit of back and forth.
And how long does each one take to recur after being eradicated?
Well, that's the strange thing. You see, the first time it happened, we got people in here right away that could deal with the problem, get them all cleared out. We took out the bugs, took out the eggs, did everything that we could. Then just 2 days later, it was completely swarming again. We didn't have the ready cash available to deal with it so quickly that time, so it took us a little bit longer. But it seems like every time it's just 1 to 4 days or so after we clear them out that we come back.
Have you considered rotating the crops that you put in the greenhouse versus the outdoor garden?
Unfortunately, the ones that we grow in the greenhouse wouldn't survive out here, so we don't really have that as an option.
Well, it seems to me that given the fact that this infestation has occurred multiple times, it might be a bit risky to move everything back to a full yield in the greenhouse. Perhaps you should begin by planting a few boxes and then see how it goes before you grow the rest. I understand there's a loss of income associated with such an approach. However, better to lose a little income now than to invest all the money to replant everything and then have it simply go to waste.
Yes, we've done that for some of it. We're not putting the most valuable herbs in there at the moment. We're making do with what we can get out of the fastest growing and least expensive ones. But we are still generally planting almost all of the boxes.
That does seem rather risky to me, and I was speaking with Basil last night as to the possibility of moving those plants to a different location on a temporary basis. I understand the maintenance may be greater, but it could at least narrow down the source of this pestilence.
Like I said, I don't think we have any other options. There's just the one greenhouse that we can work with, and those plants won't grow outside. And the ones that are already in there we wouldn't want to take out and move elsewhere because the risk of having some of those eggs spreading it even more.
Well, then you must do a full clean-out of the greenhouse. The only way to be certain that you've eradicated everything is to scrub it from top to bottom, remove all of the tables and equipment, and ensure that there are no cracks or permeable surfaces by which a new infestation might enter.
I assure you, sir, we know what we're doing here, and we have tried everything that we know how to do to ensure that this infestation does not come back.
Have you tried burning it to the ground?
That was going to be my next suggestion. If you are so proficient at what you do for a living, you've tried everything and nothing has worked, then something must be amiss on the consistency of your approach.
Yeah, and they might be getting really bad herbalism checks, too.
Yes.
Have you thought about a more natural approach? What if you introduce a predator, something that likes to eat the eggs, or something that likes to eat the bugs should they reappear? Surely there's something in the wilderness that preys on these bugs, maybe before they grow up to the adult stage.
I suppose we could try catching some frogs and letting them loose or something.
Do they eat those eggs?
We don't normally see these kinds of bugs around here, so I'm not familiar with what might eat them.
That might be one solution, where we journey to see these pests in their natural habitat and see what preys on them.
Could I do a nature check and figure out what preys on these and eats their eggs and young? How detailed is the Pathfinder 2nd Edition monster manual? Isn't that your favorite thing ever, Thane? Wasn't there like an edition of D&D that like had like all of these different random facts about the monsters?
Yeah, 1st and 2nd edition have the whole ecology section for each monster. It's great.
That's perfect. That's what I want for like this specific bug right now. And if it doesn't exist, we just need you to make one up.
So you think that there actually probably are very few, if any, natural predators of these things because of their acidic nature.
We need something that can handle this spicy tamale. Are the eggs also an issue, like the acidity of the eggs? Or is it only once they mature somewhat that they get that poison?
The eggs might have a little bit of it, but probably not enough to hurt anything, really. They probably would still taste bad, do you think?
I mean, I liked your suggestion of frogs. I'm trying to think of like what other things would like bug eggs.
Perhaps you should sprinkle the plants in the greenhouse with baking soda to counteract the acidity of these bugs.
Or at least rub some soap on them, for goodness sake.
Some lye.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That will do the plants good.
You know what we could do? If there's nothing that is a natural predator, we find something that could be a predator, and then we feed some of the ley line goop to it and make it powerful enough to eat these. Like, we take some normal frogs. Hear me? Hey, you haven't let me say my idea yet, you guys.
You guys already know where Kardain's going with this.
Yep.
We took a frog and we dip it in the goop and turn it into a super frog.
Then we'll be right back to the beginning of the campaign.
Perhaps we could take a few of them to Thorberf to see if he enjoys eating them.
Or we bring Thorberf here and let him take up residence in the greenhouse.
That would be the next step, naturally.
Oh, right. If he does eat the acidity eggs.
Perhaps he could be their only natural predator.
What is it? Let me ask you this. You've been dealing with these bugs. What is it in your greenhouse that allows them to sustain themselves? Like, what if you started growing some poisonous plants or something in there? That has its place. Well, then you're selling poison.
That's kind of what I was asking him before, is why don't you just cycle plants in and out? And he said the ones that we grow in the greenhouse kind of have to be in there, and the ones that we grow in the outdoor garden kind of have to be there.
Yeah, but obviously the plants in the greenhouse, those bugs like them, and their young can flourish. Verrol's got a good point, I think. If we grew something different in the greenhouse, maybe you could
cull this next generation.
I'll bring up the suggestion with Basil. Maybe we could try some sort of mildly poisonous plants if we can get our hands on them.
There's got to be something bigger going on.
Yeah, of course.
There's just got to be.
That's why we're questioning the employees first and then moving on to the suppliers, because there's something amiss here.
But here's the thing. We already have the list of suppliers. Would knowing stuff about where they source the stuff help us with... That's why I was thinking we might have wanted to do that research before we talk to the employees, because then there might be questions we would actually have to ask the employees. I feel like we're doing the same kind of questions we did with Basil earlier, where it's like,
what I was thinking.
We have something concrete. We take the concrete thing and apply it to the employees, and then I feel like we could get more deterministic outcomes from the conversations.
I'm more trying to gauge their general attitude and proficiency so we can see if we can sort of detect...
Figure out if there's a dissenter.
Yeah, whether they're on the up and up.
Zara, do you recognize any of these employees? If you do, let us know. Let us know if they're in the group with you and Moss.
Ah, yes, of course. I suppose I take a look around.
Oh, wait, they wouldn't, because that was the group in Foz.
Yeah, that was the Fosdale group. This is Shepford.
You don't know anyone here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's not going to be any crossover. There's a different... Oh, you're in the group now.
Mm-hmm.
What if we tried to find out when and where the Chepfirth meeting happens for that group? If there is one here. I guess they'd be really ambitious to meet here in Chepfirth.
In Chepfirth, yeah, exactly.
But there might be one, like a super secret meeting.
That's true.
But probably not. The more I think about it, they probably wouldn't meet here.
Well, either way, let's focus on the task at hand. So, Godwin, do you enjoy working here?
Yes, I've always enjoyed working with plants. It's been my hobby since I was little.
Nothing better to work with, is there?
What about working with Basil in particular?
Yeah.
Is he a good boss?
Treats us well, pay is fair.
And you've no quarrel with him?
But the pay could be better?
No, well, pay could always be better. I have no particular quarrels with anyone here, no?
And is there any kind of check we could make to sense motive or whatever the equivalent is?
Yes, sense motive is what it's called.
I would like to roll sense motive, please.
As would I.
Alright, so you can roll secretly, or I could do it for you.
And are these blind rolls or private rolls?
They're supposed to be secret.
Rolling. Whoa, why am I so good at sense motive? Why is Kardain so good at this? Is it a will, like, perception thing?
It's will.
It's perception.
Or it's wisdom. You're a whiz character. You're a real whiz.
I look over his face as he responds to us. What do I make of it?
None of you can pick up on any lies or anything. Kardain, you get the sense that he is genuine when he says he loves working with plants. You really feel that kindred spirit there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really means it. Not like Zara did.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's about as much as you can tell. You don't sense any gripes with the owners or anything.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time, Carwin, as you were.
Pleasure meeting you and talking with you, sir. I guess I'll get back to work.
So I'm wondering if we can sort of rinse and repeat with each of the other employees, kind of ask some of the similar questions. Do you like working here? Do you like working with Basil and Audra and stuff like that? And then sense motive on them to try and get a general feel.
Okay.
I especially want to get to know whoever stocks and, like, does supplies for Basil or picks up shipments.
You want to roll your checks again?
Rolling.
Okay.
How many more sense motives do we roll?
There are 2 other employees.
2 other employees. Which of the... I guess you'll tell us what their function is.
So none of you are able to detect any sorts of lies or hidden motives from them. There's Damien. He works mostly inside the greenhouse, and at the moment he's pulling out the plants that are completely destroyed, getting rid of any remaining bugs that he can find. And he is one of the 2 people who usually does the planting in here and just manages the greenhouse. He also carries in fresh fertilizer from outside. He does the heavy labor. The other one is Anise, and she normally tends to the plants both in and outside, doing like the delicate work of trimming off the leaves and watering and just making sure that they're all well tended to.
And Carwin was just a general gardener.
Carwin, yeah, he mostly works in the outside area, helps moving supplies around as needed. He and Damien have been doing most of the bug removal, too. Like, after the major groups are taken care of, then they'll go in and clear out whatever's left.
Do you guys burn your clothing after you're done cleaning?
Don't burn it, but we thoroughly wash it.
Do these eggs come out when you just a good washing? I mean, is it possible you got them on the bottom of your shoes or something?
The real issue is, even if we were to have left some behind, or even if they stayed on our clothes or something, that would only explain a handful reappearing now and then. It wouldn't explain huge swarms appearing overnight.
Right. Yeah, we're worried about that. We think someone doesn't like your operation.
It's entirely possible.
We asked the owner already if he had enemies. He said no.
We did ask Basil if anyone else might have access to the greenhouse, right?
Yeah, he just said his employees, and he locks it up every night.
Well, locks can be picked.
Did we check for signs of tampering?
You haven't done any searches like that? No?
Okay.
Yeah, can we do that type of search?
If he locks it up every night, I would have thought he would have noticed if the lock had been tampered with, especially in this circumstance.
I check for wax to see if somebody's made a mold of the lock. Or key mold.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Let's just check the door and the lock in general to see if we can find anything.
Yeah, is it loose? Does it seem like it's not?
I'm going to make some secret perception checks.
All right.
Okay.
So, blind or private GM?
Blind GM. So you look around the lock and around the door to see any signs of damage to the lock or other markings or anything. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. The lock seems rather scratched up, but that's probably just from years of use, trying to fit the key in at night when it's dark and stuff like that. So you don't see any obvious damage that stands out.
And it's completely sealed. You can't, open the windows, potentially. And earlier when we checked it, did we see if somebody had dug in?
Well, I said the floor was tiles.
You didn't really look around for that sort of thing.
Okay, well, we should maybe do that.
I thought you did. You investigated whether you could see any evidence of digging around.
I'm not very good at investigate. I can search, but I don't think I actually did the check.
That's the problem, is we can do things but not know how well we did them, even when it's just like looking at stuff. So we have no real idea of whether there's tunnels in here that we just haven't seen.
But if all three of us do it, we can be pretty reasonably sure that we have a decent chance of success.
Decent chance, yeah.
Yeah, let's get in there and look for trapdoors. Look under tables, we look for secret passages. Do we see if any of the tiles are loose? Could we do something like that? And as if there is a secret entryway.
Yeah, let's just do all of the above. We're going to scour the greenhouse.
Top to bottom.
I'm thinking this is sabotage.
I'm telling y'all.
Okay, so you go inside and you start to thoroughly scour the whole place. You're looking for any signs of anything that could open. You do notice that there are a couple of window panels that could be raised out slightly, but not enough for someone to fit inside, but a few inches, so something could get in through that.
A few inches? I could dump this box of bug eggs into this greenhouse?
More importantly, perhaps, Kardain, you are searching around on those tiles that you're suspicious of, and in the far back left corner, you hear a hollow thunk under one of them.
I was going to ask, are the tiles grouted? Is there grout between the tiles, or are they literally placed side by side?
Do they have a sand in between, maybe? A sand or dirt?
Yeah, are they more like pavers, maybe?
It's a constructed building rather than being placed on the dirt. So I guess there would be some grout in there, but it's very fine work, so there's only narrow channels between the tiles.
Hey, you two, I think I found something.
All right, we scurry over there. What is it?
This one doesn't sound like the other ones. Look, and I stamp on it.
I go and grab one of the pry bars that they use to open crates, shipments and stuff, and bring it in and hand it to Kardain.
Yeah, I can give it the heave-ho if you like, Verrol. Thanks.
He just doesn't want to do the manual labor himself.
All right. All right, so which corner was it? You said it's the back left?
Back left corner.
Back left.
Stage left or... Okay. All right, so here we go. So, I'm going to give it a go.
My left or left as the crow flies?
I'm assuming this is just an athletics. Can I know what it is or secret?
You can take the force open action.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Dude, you know the Force? That's amazing.
Use the force to open it. It's called the force open action.
I rolled a 19.
Nice.
So it's not especially difficult to open. It's a little hard to get the crowbar into a good position to get under the tile, but after a few tries, you get it in there and you lift.
How did the employees that work here not realize that one of the tiles sounded weird when they step on it?
This tile is underneath one of the shelves and is not a place that you would normally walk on at all.
So I moved a shelf. Okay.
You didn't have to move the whole shelf. The shelves are like attached to the wall, but it's just you wouldn't walk underneath it in order to get in there.
Yeah, it's a corner, like a tile literally vertically underneath one of the shelves, so you would never step there.
So you lift it up, and looking down, you can see a crude dirt shaft with a wooden ladder leading up to it.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Conspiracy.
Basil, there is a secret underground laboratory beneath your greenhouse.
I'm telling y'all it is sabotage.
Basil, you better start splaining. Why did you build this secret passage?
He's still working inside at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But you could call him.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we should bring him over.
Let me go get him.
Basil, you should come and see this. We go in there and say that, and then we cut to commercial break.
I want to gauge his reaction to this, if possible.
Okay.
Now that I've learned how to do the sense motive thing.
Damien rushes inside to go fetch Basil. And when Basil walks in, he's like, "What's all this about? You found something?"
Actually, wait. Shouldn't we bring the whole staff plus his wife and gauge their reaction to the first news of them finding out that there's a secret passageway? I want to be able to be like, why did so-and-so react that way? Versus everybody else seemed to have genuine surprise at the secret passage.
Your instinct is spot on, but let's just start with Basil, because if he... We'll do them one at a time, and that way we have a better way of capturing their emotions.
Yeah, but people are still working.
The two employees who work in the greenhouse were already here as you were working.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should have planned this better, because if news just organically spreads through the company...
How about this, Kardain? As you are going to the back corner to show him, I go up and stand by the door and close the door behind me, so that if anyone tries making a break for it, they'll have to go through me first, and I'm not an ally.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a good chance that this is not an inside job. If this tunnel exists here, then it means there's a means of ingress that doesn't require a key, which means it's probably not an employee, right? So that's my suspicion here.
You can't be too careful.
Yeah.
We've been in intrigue mode.
Another detail I should mention, the longer you have this tile up, the shaft open, you start to notice a rather foul smell coming up from the hole.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Oh, we might want to close it.
Yeah, so... What have you found?
Yes, you may want to come over here. Take a look at this. And we bring him back to the back left corner, and Kardain opens the tile again.
He looks down at it. Who could have done this? He just looks thoroughly confused.
Basil, we asked you if you had any enemies, and you didn't seem to know, but maybe you do.
It certainly seems that way.
Is there anyone you can think of at all, who might wish you ill will?
I mean, do you have any competition, your company? Did you make a bad deal like Zara's thinking?
Certainly there are other competitors. There's always been competition, but I can't think of anything that would have led to this in this particular time frame.
We just opened up our own Arboretum back in Fosdale, and, we're going to be directly competing with you in a matter of weeks. So it could have been us, but we didn't do it.
Like I said, I'm not aware of any particular enemies.
It'd be pretty risky for us to send people down this, but we might get some answers.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we want to help, right? Right, Zara? Right, Verrol? We want to get to the bottom of this? Literally?
Yes, of course.
Yes, however, I'm simply not dressed for an errand of this nature. At the moment, I can't be crawling down holes in the middle of the day.
We did buy winter and summer gear. We could equip that to you instead, right, Verrol?
Change in the greenhouse?
It would be rather immodest to change in a glass-paneled room, don't you think?
Oh, no, you're not going to change here. I imagine you could maybe go to the outhouse or something and change.
Oh, certainly. That's quite comfortable accommodations, that sounds like.
Maybe they have a room you can change in back at their place.
Well, there are two ways we could go about this. We could go down there ourselves, or we could simply wait until someone comes out.
That's true. We could also lob some napalm down there and burn the place out.
Good old-fashioned firebombing.
Now that we know what we're dealing with, the stakeout could be good. We get to change our spells tomorrow and our familiar abilities too. We could be more ready for going down there. So, like, Dungeon Master, when we smelled the bad smell, it just, like, was repulsive or, like, toxic?
It's repulsive. So
Repulsive.
as you're getting more of it with the thing open, you're pretty sure it smells an awful lot like sewage.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense if they've connected it through a sewer tunnel somehow from the city.
Can we see the bottom of the ladder looking down into the hole?
Yeah, looking down, it goes down about 15 feet, and the ladder is just kind of stuck into a mound of dirt at the bottom.
Okay. I would like to send Mr. Crowley down there.
Ah, yeah.
Do you have the thing where the thingy you can see through his eyes?
No, I actually switched it out for the abilities that are like more social abilities. So no, I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We might be more equipped to do stuff tomorrow, right?
Don't you worry about that. I have a way to understand him.
And this is great because if he gets eaten, like there's one of those big toads again, he'll resurrect tomorrow. And then you can see through his eyes, and then if he dies again, you see how he died.
Yep, exactly. Nailed it.
Excellent. Which familiars are great? The fact that we learned that familiars have permadeath, we can just keep sending Mr. Crowley in there and scouting out all the threats, as long as those threats don't change too much.
All right, so I'll activate the Raven Band and say, Mr. Crowley, do be a kind lad and fly down into this hole for me, would you?
I suppose if I must.
Makes me think of my old rabbit trap finder.
Ah, yes, Trap Finder. That's right.
He was the best.
What?
He was a good lad.
Wait, who was... I don't remember hearing this story.
In one of our other campaigns, I had a rabbit. We found a rabbit somewhere, and I was like, I think I'll name him Trap Finder. Just send him ahead.
The direct quote was, "Guys, I found a rabbit. Its name is Trap Finder."
That's right.
Announcing it to the rest of the party for the... Yeah. Throw it in front of you and see if it dies.
Yeah, exactly. He lived through a lot, that little guy.
Well, Mr. Crowley, what say you?
Did he finally die to a trap?
I think so, eventually, I'm sure.
A trap finder. No. True to his name to the bitter end.
Yeah.
All right, and that's how we're using Mr. Crowley right now. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an early 2nd edition campaign I ran where the group bought 100 pigeons, tethered them to his belt, and then just walked around with them to set off everything in front as he went.
Yeah, right.
So you send Mr. Crowley down into the hole. He scouts around for a minute, flies back out, and says, "It appears to be the sewer, in case you couldn't tell from the smell."
Well, we surmised as much, but did you see anything of particular interest down there? Did anything stand out to you?
This tunnel is clearly not here by original design. It looks like they broke through the stone ceiling and dug straight up into here. The dirt piled at the bottom is probably what came from this tunnel.
Ah.
And it's nearly blocking the passage down there. The water is filling half the tunnel. I don't know that you could make it through there very easily to get anywhere. But it does seem like a place that one of your friends might not mind so much. I'm certain he's used to dealing with all sorts of unpleasant things in his fertilization and manure.
Zara laughs and then like kind of glances over at Kardain, knowing that he can't understand Mr. Crowley. Good one, Mr. Crowley. Yes.
What's that, Zara? Because I see you glance over at me.
Mr. Crowley found that it connects directly to the sewers. It seems they tunneled straight up from below. I'm afraid that's all he was able to see.
Did he see any footprints down there?
Ah, good question. Did you see any footprints, Mr. Crowley?
Yes, there were several sets of footprints on that dirt pile there. Most of them have probably been washed away, but from what remains above the water, it's been visited many times.
What type of footwear are we talking? Sandals? Uggs, perhaps?
Barefoot?
Air Jordans?
I don't think very many people would care to walk through that sort of filth wearing such simple footwear. This is clearly some kind of boots.
And clearly they did not walk in the greenhouse, or else the tiles would have been sullied.
Ah,
I imagine.
good point. Maybe they took them off once they got to the ladder. At any rate, yes, I think my mind is changed now. I think perhaps staking out the greenhouse is the best option.
What was the frequency that the greenhouse got infested?
Once every couple of days.
Well, he said once they got the bugs all out, they came back within a few days.
Yeah, they said between 1 and 4 days each time. So, Basically, I'm thinking whoever they were, they've come, I'm assuming they could have come from anywhere in the city, taking the sewers to this point and then going up.
This whole thing just seems so elaborate. Like, is it really just a competitor to do such a thing?
We don't know.
Or is it Moss, one of his cronies? We don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, what in the world? Like, who would go to such lengths? That can't have been easy to break through the sewer like that and create this tunnel at all.
Not at all, no.
No.
And is it like the kind of thing where it's subject to tides? Like the water level would be higher at certain times than others, and maybe there's a path that makes itself apparent?
Probably not tides here, because it's not directly... I mean, there's no oceans around. But, I mean, different times of day as it's seeing more or less use, and maybe rain could raise the level.
So then someone's been walking through this place to get here to sabotage this greenhouse.
So now I want to know, how are they entering the sewer? Like, we're seeing the back end, right? We're seeing the finality, but we're not seeing where they enter.
Well, there could be any number of entry points.
Right. That was my point. At first, I was thinking, we'll go down to this hole and find the person in here. But now that I know that it connects to the sewer, like, they could have come from basically anywhere in the entire city. So that's why I think we stake it out.
So we have to stake out.
And rather than go dungeon dive. I mean, we can poke our heads down there, but I think we're going to be much more successful doing a stakeout than a dungeon dive.
But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can have a specific set of skills.
Yes, a particular set of skills.
Yes, I believe we should begin by greasing the rungs of the ladder and creating a rebar mesh at the top to prevent them from entering.
Yes.
Or we could even re-pour the concrete above the sewer whilst they are climbing the ladder, so we get them real good.
Do we want to keep them from getting in, or do we want to allow them in so that we can ambush them and question them?
Well, I doubt they are walking in the greenhouse, or else the tiles would have shown their prints. So my suspicion is they simply open the hatch, put the bugs in the greenhouse without setting foot inside it, and take their leave.
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing that's weird. Like, you said put the bugs in the greenhouse. I guess maybe they just have like a basket or a box and they just dump out the eggs or the larva into the greenhouse so that there's no evidence of like, oh, hey, somebody dropped off a package in the back left corner. That's weird. There's like this pallet or this wooden box that we don't remember putting in here. So yeah, they're probably just like dumping something.
Dump it out,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, stakeout sounds good. We can have really good loadouts for this. That's a great idea, Zara. We'll just wait for them. And we have to not look suspicious, though, like, right? Like, what if they have ways to get information? Whoever's doing such a thing, don't you think they would check up on them to make sure that the bugs are ravaging them? You know, check out their handiwork? Isn't that normal for, like, a saboteur?
Maybe.
Because they're doing this to some end. And if the end is to put them out of business, wouldn't they want to check up on them and make sure that they're out of business?
Probably.
That's true.
I'm really thinking you're right that it's a competitor now.
Basil, give us the footage from all your security cameras over the last 3 months.
Yes, any CCTV tapes you can provide?
Yeah, can we get a list of all of your competitors you think might have done this?
Well, as I said, I don't see why any of them would have done this, but I can list the various apothecaries and growers in the town.
Maybe somebody made him a good deal, like a discount, like, you know, complete sabotage, 50% off Valentine's Day, you know, kind of a thing. They do all these kinds of bargains. I mean, I've seen some really sick stuff.
Enter code I love sabotage at checkout.
Yeah.
Basil, let's be honest. Whoever this person is, or people, they really want to get to you. In secret. They've been tampering with your herbs, and I don't like it.
Master Kardain can't abide by someone tampering with herbs. It just doesn't sit well with him, does it?
No, not at all. Who knows what they could have done to your plants in the night?
Such nefarious activity shakes one to one's very core, does it not? So perhaps if there is no one you can think of who wants to do this, who can you think of that needs to do it? Perhaps it is not a personal vendetta, is what I mean, but a strategic initiative.
Yeah, that's a good point, Verrol. Maybe they don't have a grudge against Basil at all. Maybe it's because your arboretum exists.
More about disrupting the supply chain than doing you personal harm.
I suppose they could have something against one of my clients that needs some of those herbs.
Now that's another list we need. There's a list of your clients.
I'm afraid that is strictly confidential information.
Basil, you literally have a hole to the sewers in your greenhouse, and you're not
Yes.
going to share your clients with us?
Basil, just look at us. We are confidential. Don't you see?
I appreciate what you have done for us and what you are still trying to do, but due to the sensitive nature of some of my clients and their needs for this medicine, I cannot in good conscience inform you of who those might be.
Have we been talking with Basil for a minute?
Yeah, probably.
I would say so.
we don't, unfortunately, don't have Aslo in the party.
Yeah.
Do we have another similar ability?
We got the next best thing.
Okay.
What's that?
You've got a bunch of different skills you could possibly leverage.
Skills or actions?
There's all sorts of stuff you can do. You can press somebody, you can coerce, you can appeal.
But those are more like actions, right, than skills or abilities that I have. I mean, I can do things if they're nobility.
Coercing would be trying to intimidate him into giving you the list.
Right. I don't think we want to do that, but
No.
you can. So in the deception section, there's create a diversion, impersonate, lie. You are allowed to say, hey, I would like to do the lie action. Diplomacy might be better.
You could impersonate his wife and try to get him to give the names to you that way.
Oh, dearest Hubster, do you have the client list anywhere?
Yeah. I think you're right, Thane, that coerce is a bad idea. That would be intimidation. But Verrol would be good at it, probably.
Yeah.
There's make an impression.
There is in the diplomacy section request with one action point next to it. It is not exploration. It is an active action. He could just request convincingly with his amazing charisma. Like, you could role play that out and just be like, hey man, we just want the list. Like, you'll think of a cool Verrol JE way to leverage your high skill here.
Well, I technically did just request that, but I didn't roll for it.
Well, but you didn't make the game master like do the set up a DC and like do the roll. You got to be more convincing, Verrol.
Yeah, I just don't know if he wants his clients getting shaken down by the likes of us, and I think he knows that that's what's going to happen if he gives up the list.
Is that what we're going to go do, or do we just want the information?
Yes, that's pretty much what we're going to go do.
Okay.
It also says, under the requesting, some requests are unsavory or impossible, and even a helpful NPC would never agree to them.
Yeah, that's kind of my fear with that, my concern with that. I think Zara is going to jump in at this point and say, Basil, I hate to ask this, I don't suppose you've had any run-ins with the Ashen Star, have you?
His face droops a little bit when you say that. Just most people in this town know the name, at least.
I was going to say, I feel like if they're well-known, Verrol might also know who they are.
Yeah, maybe Verrol has to make a check or something, or...
I'll let you do a recall knowledge.
That would be
Like
society?
a society recall knowledge?
Yeah, let's do a society check.
Okay. Making a society check. Ah, that's not very good.
Oh, wait, isn't this something that Thane makes because it's recall knowledge?
It's fine. So, no, you don't know about them.
Oh, okay.
When you ask if he's had any run with them, he says, not that I'm aware of. Seems to be racking his brain, thinking through things. Like, I don't know, dear, do you know anything about this? He calls his wife into the room. Audra comes in, and she says, dear, she's asking if we had any sort of run-ins with the Ashen Star. I don't think so, unless some of them have perhaps shown up to our store, and maybe they didn't get what they wanted or something. Audra, as soon as he brings that up, she thinks just for a moment, then her eyes go wide, and she brings her hands to her mouth.